Hey guys, it's Dave from MortgageGuy.com. And are foreclosures coming into the market? In this video, I'm going to break that down. Before I do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up with more videos like this. So are there foreclosures coming into the market? Yes and no. Okay? So I've been seeing a lot of videos and ads and stats and fear tactics where the amount of foreclosures have increased by, I've seen as high as 187%, right? Keep in mind that when you see that stat, two things. One, it's going off of, let's say, a year prior, okay? So if it's in December of 2022, it's looking at December of 2021, okay? And during the COVID years, there really were no foreclosures. Between forbearances, allowing people to skip payments, the moratoriums, there just was not foreclosures. You can see in this graph here, there was periods there where there was none, like way below even a normal level. So part of the increase is when you go from zero to any amount, that percentage is going to be a large percentage, okay? But the question is, are there going to be a huge influx of foreclosures in the market, okay? Now, we have a buildup of foreclosures that will be released into the market most likely. But let's address two big things that would keep people from getting foreclosed on or going into foreclosure. One is they were in forbearance, so they didn't have to make payments. Coming out of it, they should have that money or will start to make payments in preparation, okay? If they struggle on their mortgage, they could actually sell their home and probably walk away with a profit. Even people who bought in the COVID years have equity in their home where they would most likely sell it or fight to keep it, right, than just walking away. There was an article that was talking about buyers being underwater, which is where they owe more on the home than the home is worth. The people who are really going to fall into this, which is a very small percentage, like 1% is what the stats were, are people who bought at the height of, let's say, beginning to mid 2022, and they were doing a loan program that required a low down payment. So they had less equity. It would be an FHA loan, let's say, with 3.5%, or a VA loan with no down payment, right? So if you bought at the height, and even if the prices went down 10 or 20%, you could possibly owe more than the home is worth. The vast majority of everyone else has equity, so they would avoid that, okay? Now, people who are struggling on their mortgage payment. Let's talk about this. So the mortgage companies and servicers, who are the people who collect the payments, this article that I was looking at interviewed about 50 of a high-level executives. And right now, about 23% of mortgage delinquencies they think would actually lead to a foreclosure on a property in the coming 12 months. Okay? Historically, before COVID, it was about 25% of these people would lose their home to foreclosure. So even moving forward, is there going to be a great uptick in foreclosures? No, not unless the economy starts to struggle and a lot more people lose their homes, right? Lose their jobs and then lose their homes from not being able to pay for it. So these are a lot of things to keep in mind. Now, are there going to be foreclosures coming into the market? For sure, especially from the lookout of zero, okay? But keep in mind a couple things. Depending on when these foreclosures hit the market and inventory and when mortgage rates start to come back down, okay? And more buyers come into the market, those deals are going to get snatched up and probably sell for closer to market value because they're helping with an inventory problem if there is one at that time, okay? Holding out for foreclosures only makes sense when there's a ton of inventory and not a lot of buyers. So don't assume that these things are going to happen. Along with everything we've already seen about hedge funds and Chase and people buying up foreclosures. Some of the larger banks, honestly, if their goal is to buy a bunch of properties to rent out, they may look at buying or keeping some of their own foreclosures because they're, in theory, could be getting them at a discount, right? On what the person owes versus what the home is worth. That hasn't even come out, but is a logical move with it being in-house. Okay, so are foreclosures coming to the market? Yes and no, and I wanted to break down the specifics so you know what to look at and what to pay attention to versus some of these crazy stats that are out there. All right? Call or email me with anything. Comment down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you find my videos helpful, I'd love to be your lender. Thanks, guys.